Okay. So good reminder. Good reminder. The only stuff you turn in is stuff we have already checked. Right? So if we haven't checked it yet, like 212 that has not been checked yet, you don't turn it in yet. Kate.
What if you checked it by yourself using?
Yeah, it'll still mess with my brain. Right? So if you can just kind of go with the flow, that would help me. I get it. Yeah, you have found the loophole, right? If you check it on your own. So get out that 212 and let's check it. You can wait. Some of you are realizing this. If you wait till you bring your 212 up, you could get your 214 then. Kind of makes sense since they're in the same place. But let's check that. So 212. I'm just getting it up, man. Now I'm trying to get down to the point where we can... So we should have some labels on those. I'll zoom in a tiny bit more, I guess. You could use highlighters. You could use colored pencils. You don't have to use any of that stuff. But you can help yourself out if you incorporate some colors. Well, good, because I have an actual pencil sharpener there. Yes. Jerry the Dorito? Actually, we probably can't say Dorito because it is probably... Oh, yeah! I love those of you that remembered it. Grab a highlighter, a pen, something that tells me that you actually checked your work to check your work as you go. So you should have something that is not a pencil, right? So there's plenty at your desk if you want something that is not a pencil, checking this worksheet. Now at some point, tomorrow, Thursday, or Friday, we will do a binder reset and make sure your binder is all nice. And then next week, we will have a binder check for math. What's up? Yeah, I don't know what happened, whether CPM got goofed or what. No, this is from the CPM set. That I pulled most of my problems come from the CPM set. Yeah, I don't know. They're the same, but funny. Yeah, I don't know if I was in an airport or in Greece or where, but I didn't notice. See how I was writing in all these different colors? I didn't even notice. So who didn't notice A and B were identical? Because you left them in a different order? Yeah, I didn't notice. Now here's the deal. A, I wrote out the best way possible with the higher power first. B, I did not write out the best way, but it is still correct. But the best way would be put the y squared in front of the y. Because higher powers first. Any questions on C or D? Yeah, y'all don't listen to CDs anymore.
That was a dad joke.
I'm glad that you always know what a CD is.
Well, a CD is something you use to use.
Now here's the real question. Does anyone know what a Zune is?
Oh, floppy disk? I've never heard of that in my entire life. I know what
It's an MP3 player that tried to compete with the iPod. It was better, in my personal opinion. I'm just gonna go dig my own grave and just go ahead and lay down and just wait for the cold kiss.
Sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends.
Questions, or else I'm moving on. 6x squared, 4x's, 6y's, 3xy's, and 1y squared.
Oh, there actually was one thing. Why is the 3xy, why does it have the dots in between everything?
Unnecessary.
Okay.
But what it really is 3 times x times y, or 3 times the xy tiles, or you could just write 3xy. Yeah, I think I did that as just being excessive. Sometimes I put the dots, sometimes I don't. They are optional. Rolling on to 19. A substitution problem, which is what we're going through right now. Because we don't have any substitute teachers. Get it? A substitution
Oh
problem.
my god. You have to click the last button when
I
you're
don't
trying to make
have to do anything.
If you wrote it down.
Probably sounds really creepy on the recording since the mic is right here. I love that you guys talk about FNAF because my friends who have a podcast also talk about Yes.
I
did
needed
a
small
second
Small ring. Well, here's why. You didn't write out your work.
Yeah.
So this is going to earn you a check minus if you don't show your work. So right now, what would be a good idea is write out some work to show where you were substituting things. No, in pencil. We don't do our homework in highlighter. Oh, I mean, you can still write in pencil. Writing in highlighter is not. It makes things more difficult, right? What, Mr. Waterwash? Here to do some math?
I should sit in there.
Mr. Waterwash and I talk about math sometimes and how we all wish that we had gone through Phoenix, right, and had the opportunity that you guys have. Any questions on 19?
One second, I just saw my mistake.
So guys, notice that I'm not writing out a ton of work, but enough that if I get a wrong answer, I can figure out where it went wrong. That's what I'm expecting from you as well. You should not just have answers. Because what's that seem like? Like you went and copied. So,
I was very confused because I apparently got B wrong, and then I realized that I didn't notice that M was -10. I thought it was 10.
those negatives, the opposite of -10 becomes positive and it adds.
But at least I knew where I was wrong.
Alright, so on 20, we build a proportion there. Sorry, I'm trying to get it to stop with the. There we go. Oh, I think we need it shaded so we can actually read. Sorry, the purple pen, I'm realizing, does not show up very well.
I can see it. I did
There
it
we
with
go.
135 on top.
So guys, if we don't know what to multiply by on bottom, you divide going backwards.
Like the giant one.
Let me just check on my spreadsheet. Yeah, we can. So interesting. I don't know where they are. Well, unless things changed. If you guys got questions, you can ask the neighbor. Give me a second to chat with Mr. Waterwash. Oh. So, again, if the thing messing with you is where did that 7.4 come from, we can find that by doing 1,000, what we want to land on, divided by 135, and that will tell us the multiplication factor of this. Yes.
I don't mean to be picky. Wait, am I allowed to be picky in math class?
Sure, it's math.
In 220B, you didn't have cents added with money.
What do you mean?
Cents. 7475.00 or something.
You just did point.
Oh! Once there are no cents, it's unnecessary, right? So, if there are no cents to show, if there's no cents to show, it's a little bit redundant, right? So I agree, I did not show my cents there. I should have shown a decimal point probably, but the zeros after the decimal are unnecessary. So actually, as we get higher up in math, if it's a whole dollar amount, we don't need to show cents.
Give the candy.
That's not right versus wrong.
I
And-
was told that you
and-
have to.
If I wanted to be rude about it, technically what Caden's calling me out on is not true. It's not right. It's not right wrong, right? It's not an error. That's more efficient. Our goal in math is be as efficient as possible. Which then you'll say, why don't I write work, or why do I make you write workout? Yeah, once you know how to do everything, then we get as efficient as possible. Rin.
So, with the 1,000, what would it be for 1,000?
What do you mean, what would it be? What do you mean it?
How many blue candies would you expect to have?
200. So that 200 is candies. So if it was 27 blue out of 135 total, right? 135, 27. At this rate, how many blue candies would you expect in a pile of 1,000? So 200 blue out of 1,000 total.
I got that correct. I just on the screen read the
Oh, totally fine. 10 calculators, we can break down to a unit price of one calculator, getting us to 74, 75 if we were trying to buy enough calculators to serve all of Perry, so I think Perry's about 500 people.
Imagine.
And then the graph. Make sure that you're graphing points X, Y, and doing that correctly. Yeah.
Originally, I did the math wrong. We'd be spending close to $1 million on 500 calculators.
Yeah, that should have activated your brain that something might be wrong. If it's done, turn it in and get the next homework. If it's not, finish it, turn it in later.
I was going to say something, but I forgot what I was going to say.
I'm sorry? Yes. Zero. Thank you for asking. I appreciate you asking. G, 0x, -4 is your y. So 0x says do not go anywhere left, right. -4 on the y says go down 4. Yep. So G. That means I make mistakes. So guys, if what you have doesn't line up with what I have, ask. Caden, you'll get a candy one of these times, but that was not a mistake on my part.
I'm not trying to get candies. I'm being picky.
Did we make it through all 4 of these? Because I think we did, right?
Yeah, no, we didn't.
We just kind of skipped over C, which means you're better than the. No, I didn't say better. You moved more quickly than my 3B class. If you didn't, because I didn't put it on the start slide, get out your expression mat. If you probably didn't, go ahead and get out your expression mat we made yesterday.
Mine is
Wait.
pretty.
All your stuff, it should be in your math binder, and your math binder should have like 10 things in it right now. If that.
I'm so lazy, Mr. Hudson.
And you have algebra tiles. You have algebra tiles in your whatever we want to call that. We need to think of a clever name for these things.
The bid.
Build these. Well, you don't even have to build them necessarily. Simplify what is shown to you up here. Like, write it out, essentially. If you need to lay them out on your expression mat to help you, you may. You do not have to. Guys, we will start to get to a point where, like, if I have manipulatives, you don't have to use them. You can if you want. Yes, Liam. My bad, dude. That standing desk just must have glitched out my brain. Hey guys, you won't have enough time to do all of these. We're probably going to go a little bit quick. This is still back in 1.3. Yes, this is still back in 1.3. This is 20 on your graph paper.
Wait a second. Oh my gosh.
Why is my brain
I
not
just
braiding?
realized it's just 4 now.
Except we stick it in our binder then, so that's why I don't really do a notebook. I just use the pages.
This is just me, 13, learning that gecko
All right.
and gecko.
So this will be better, I guess. Let's pivot. I pivot a lot.
You wrote on these.
Yeah. You're welcome.
You're furious.
All right, so pull out your 214 sheet that you should have in front of you. We're gonna be looking at that next, but let's just. I realize I threw that at you it's not going to work. Like, I'm not going to have enough time, so let's just skip over that. I can still accomplish what I need to accomplish. So, put this on your mat. It's not on your worksheet, but put this on your mat. Like your expression mat, your paper that you made. Sorry, I switched slides that I realized I made a goof. Realized I made a goof.
So the unshaded ones are on the negative side. So the unshaded are negative.
I missed something.
I did it. I did it. Well, I didn't do it yet, actually. If you did this, or sorry, if you laid these out, now simplify. But you might be able to figure out where I'm going with this. You might not. I don't know.
This is my epic recreation of the Stranger Things art.
Oh my gosh. To like activate your brain to remind you of what from class?
When did we get this paper?
We made it.
Well, oh, so we're doing the math.
Yeah, so like 214 is right up there. The next paper that you're gonna need.
Wheel.
This. 3 more.
I accidentally just wrote plus. And somehow never got.
There we go.
So, I should probably use random cards. So, I should scoot this up a tiny bit because if people are watching from home. So we've got the upper part of our mat, the lower part of our mat. We talked about these things yesterday, but for anyone that wasn't here and or anyone playing from home, let's remind them. Adele, would you like to remind how this works and what we're looking at here? So like down, the down here, like what are these? So this is actually the opposite of what they look like, right? So these are actually each -1. Give me your eyes up on the screen real quick. So if this is a +1, and this, Adele actually just told me, is a -1, what happens when I have a +1, and if I slide this up and it flips, what happens when I have +1, -1? They cancel each other out. So really, what a new rule that we can make is with us starting with a 1 up here and a 1 down here, these can both get pulled out of the mat. Because I did the same thing from the right side up as I did the upside down. Or the positive space and the opposite space. So is there any other 0 we could cancel out here, Liam? Is there any other 0? Yeah, we could get the negative x and positive x together. And guys, we don't even have to take them off of the mat. We could leave them there and just say it's 0. I promise. I'm not doing that bad. I'm doing better this year.
Hello.
And then, then if we slide these up, sorry, that comment, to anyone at home who was very confused, that comment was to Mrs. Pettigrew. She poked in to double check on me. So what do we actually have when we simplify this expression? So what do we actually have? How would I say this expression simplified?
We have x plus -2.
Yeah, we have x and so this simplifies out to x and -2. Any questions on that?
Yes.
Yes? Let me come back and help you with the next ones. I'm going to skip over 37. I'm actually going to switch order. So I'm going to move this so that I don't forget. Let's do 38. Oh, I did the wrong order switch. 36, 38, 37.
My brain is raining. I don't think it's my brain never is right now.
This is on your paper. This is on your paper. 38 is on your paper. You can write on your paper.
Thank you, Mr.
214. Guys, I can say it 5 times and still somebody will be like, where's this problem?
Oh, wait a second. Oh, we're doing the examination class right now. I'm so confused.
That's why I just said on your paper.
On your paper. Hey, I was your paper.
I know, they all start to kind of look similar, right? So make sure you're finding the right problem. Interesting. Not math. We'll talk about that later. Do you know that this is on your back? Apparently you have a friend. It's just like a sticker thing. But apparently a friend of yours thought they would be orange. Or it stuck to your backpack and they got stuck on your back. Alright, so you said this is confusing. So here's the thing. All of these values up here are what they are. So if that's a negative x, that's a positive x, -1, -1, negative x, right? These down here. These down here. These are negative. Well, yeah, we changed. This is a different one than what we just did. Yeah. Right. So actually, if we're doing this one, we need negative. Here, let's make it look the same. Negative, positive. These are negatives, and then negative x, and then these are negatives. Like right, the open is negatives.
I don't get how.
So then, so these are actually the opposite of what they look like. Now wait a minute. Is that what you showed? You had all these, and then you removed 2 negatives. 2 negatives don't make a 0. A negative and a positive make a 0. That's your 0. So you've got 2 zeros there. What else can cancel out here? Another 0. Yeah. Whoa, bad word.
That's a bad word. That's a bad word, and I swear a lot.
All right, so what you should have had is, remember, the open squares are negative or rectangles, and the closed look like positives. So to represent A, hey Noah, I need you to control your shouting out questions. No, Noah, on me. There's no defending you shouting out random comments during class because you're interrupting my teaching. Okay, I've let it slide a couple times. Now I'm directly telling you, you got to get better at that, okay? Cool, thank you. This is what we would have to start, okay? But these are a trap door because they look negative, But what do we know about this part of our algebra or our? Well, they're the opposite of what they look. So in this case, Val, in this case, you're right. They're gonna turn positive. But be careful. That's not like an always rule, right? The always is it's the opposite of what it looks like. So then, Noah, you want to walk me through like what we do up here now that we've got all the tiles up in the what they are?
Okay, so if you take the two positive ones and the two negative ones, those two cancel each other out.
Oh, because positive one, negative one. Ooh, and we could leave it here as 0, but since it's 0, we might as well get rid of it so it's not confusing us. So there's a 0. Another 0. Okay, what else?
And then the negative x and the positive x also cancel each other out.
Okay, so what are we left with?
Negative x.
So on your paper, what we want to write is that this actually simplifies down to just negative x. Solve B if you haven't yet. Solve B if you have not yet. It is on your paper.
Oh, gee golly.
All right, now we're going to start to get into where random cards, like, we can, like, pop, like, get lots of people involved. So, man, and I'm worried because some of you are just doing art right now with your tiles, and you're not doing what we're supposed to do. And we have a quiz on Friday. Oh, yeah, we have a quiz on Friday. Oh, yeah, we have a quiz on Friday.
Oh yeah.
And this is going to be on the quiz, so if you're not paying attention now and you don't get this figured out, that's your choice. And then there's, like, kids trying to do their homework, and that's sneaky sneak, but... Oh, yours just isn't written up there yet. But yeah, I've decided based off what I see in class that you guys apparently don't need to learn this stuff because a lot of you are already doing your homework. So I think we're ready for a quiz. So, what can I do here? Sam, give me one thing I can do. Remove the positive x, negative x from the real side. I love how he phrased that. Told me very specifically what to do and how to do it. Caden, give me a next step.
Give me remove one of the negative ones using the positive one.
Remove one of the negative ones using that positive one. Zach, give me a next step.
Take one of the negative ones from the opposite side and put it to the real value side.
So when we do that, what happens? It flips over and turns positive. Lucy, give me a next step. Remove both of these because they cancel each other out because negative 1, positive 1. Okay. Annabelle, next step. Or no, she's here today, right? I swear. Oh, she might have been.
Yeah, she's just
Yeah. Liam switch. I thought I fixed these. What? Val, give me a next step.
Then you flip all the rest of them around and put them in the real value side. Or you can leave.
Sorry, yes, I was checking my phone to check on a thing with the team. So all of those slide up, they flip. And what does this reduce down to? We'll do card, I guess. Nope, they're not here. All right, Bradley. Yeah, negative x and positive 2. Absolutely. So now, and we could have been doing this the whole time, like writing out what we saw, but I wanted to make your lives a little bit easier. Now we are just given the expression written out. And we are asked to simplify. We could use tiles if we want to, but we're not like, do you have to?
I want to.
Well, so if you want to, sure. But otherwise, if you don't need to, this is not on your worksheet, meaning we should be writing it on graph paper. Meaning we should probably copy down what the original is and then what it turns into. Guys, I wish I could hand you everything we're going to do in class and like you have it all on paper when you walk in. But that's a ton of paper. And you copying something when you start actually makes your brain process it a little bit. So when you copy it when you start, you do start like thinking about it. Love random cards.
They're
I
so easy
know,
to
but
fix.
ignore what they said. So
Are you actually easy sarcastically?
So, when CPM has directions, sometimes I ignore them and make my own. So, my point with asking you to simplify these, I think some of you have already realized what I'm getting at here. Rin, have you realized kind of oh, I bet he wants us to and it's okay if you haven't, because I'm trying this, right? I've never taught this group before, like the accelerated 7-8. So, let me ask a different question to you, Rin. Can I combine any like terms in A? No. So technically, can A be simplified? Not really. There's no way to make it simpler, right? It is as simple. That doesn't mean easy. Sorry, I said it. But that's not what it means. Simple means the nicest, cleanest way we can represent it. So in B, there is a way to simplify, right? There is a way. Violet's not here, right? I think I know that's what I thought. Noah, do you know what we need to do to simplify B?
Two negatives cancel each other out, so you can just write it as 2y plus 1.
Now that might, maybe, be true, but these rules that we get asked to memorize, memorization is not a great idea. Comprehension of why we do things is much better. Because two negatives, I would argue that's not even what we have. Because a negative is like a debt, a loss, if you watch football, a loss in yards, right? The wrong direction, the temperature going down. This is not a negative. It's not. It's not. So Zach said it's a minus, and it's not.
It's the opposite.
It's the opposite.
Oh my god.
Guys, you can't minus when there's nothing to minus from.
So it's the opposite.
To be negative, you have to have a value. You can't have negative nothing. Zero is not positive or negative. It's nothing. Zero is nothing. So you can't have a negative when there's no number. This is the opposite. Please stop saying two negatives and all these rules and tricks. Trust me, they actually do more harm than good. Because then you start to mix up the rules, because when we're adding, two negatives make a bigger negative. So this whole in your head, two negatives, that's a bad rule. It's a bad rule. When we distribute, then guys, I would draw this if you didn't. Because I bet at least a couple of you didn't take it to both of them. The opposite of negative 2y, what is it? Positive 2y. The opposite of 1.
Negative 1.
Negative 1.
Ooh.
I bet you a lot of you forgot that that's going to turn negative.
be really good at TED Talks.
Oh, thank you. I'm really good at watching them.
I'm good at watching TED Talks. I'm not.
2x. Now, here, and this is where the brainwashing starts. Don't worry, the spirally circle thing, that'll actually, the brainwashing, we'll get there later.
What kind of soda?
And Adele's up here, she's like, I can see her face. She's like, is he actually going to brainwash us? This! Zach, can we call this minus? Yeah. Here, Zach's allowed to call this minus, because there's something to minus away from. However, can I minus a negative 4 from an x? So still, I beg you, don't call this minus. It's 2x and the opposite of x minus 4.
We've been minus 2 years.
And if I could teach you like starting from 4th grade, I think like we would have a lot less. So some of what we do at Phoenix, we talked about this at our staff meeting, is unteaching. Literally, some of what we do because you've been taught like these tricks, these rules, these like what you need to actually learn. What's the opposite of positive x? Negative x. Notice how I don't even write it minus. I write negative x.
What happened to the 4?
What's the opposite of negative 4?
4. Oh, you just had it.
I hadn't written it yet. What is 2x and a negative x?
1x.
1x. Sorry, I should have said class answer. Thank you, Katie. 1x. Anything with the 4?
No.
So this becomes 5x, right?
No.
No! These are
Yes.
not
No.
like terms. This is not true. Do not fall in the trap. We cannot combine these, right? Your temptation will be, oh yeah, 4, 1, 5. Yeah. No. This is it. You're done. 1x plus 4.
Because there's
You're
a
dead.
point where, because x is a variable and 4 is not a variable.
What do we call the not variable? Starts with a C.
Common?
Adele? Constant.
302.
You guys are really good at math.
It's 3 o'clock.
Yeah, time.
Probably.
Because this video was sponsored by Raid Channel.
Real quick. Let's do B. Let's just flex our skills real quick. And because I'm in a rush, I'm going to break my rule and I'm not even going to write out all the work. What would the next step, like, we have 7 and then
Negative 4.
negative 4y,
Positive 3 plus 3.
positive 3, positive 2y, negative 4. How many y's in total?
Ooh, that's a lot of Y's.
Negative 2y. How many constants? 10. Negative 4. So 6. Alright guys, clip your papers in. Pack your tiles just back in the bag, please.
That's good because I literally ripped this out of the box.
Highlighters back in the box.
I forgot to turn this in with my 114.
Put your name on it since it's not stapled right now, and then I will get it stapled together for you. So, funny story actually, Moss. A Phoenix alumni. Well, actually, you guys may have seen it. I forget if Foundation showed it to you or not. A Phoenix alumni did a TED Talk.
Wait, really?
Yeah, about like creativity. Really, it was talking about her Discovery Day. And if we haven't shown it to you guys, we probably will. But she was one of the first years of Phoenix, and they did like a TEDx, like the smaller TED events. And yeah, she like gave a TED Talk kind of like about Phoenix.
And that got more people to sign up for Phoenix?
Not necessarily, because I don't know how widespread like her TED Talk wasn't hugely popular because it was one of the TEDx's. But yeah, there is. I forget her name. Mr. Kabila would remember. He's really good at remembering.
Generic human.
I didn't teach her. Okay. Before you come at me all angry like, I didn't teach her.
Did Mr. Camilo have your best
No, but he uses that video as part of his lesson. Mr. Estes taught her because he's been here since the beginning.
Well, I'll ask Mr. Estes the bestest.
Mr. Estes.
Why are you surprised at that? You think Estes is like
Mr.
too
Estes
young
is
for that,
ancient.
or what?
Yeah, you
Estes,
He is not ancient.
He said he taught him before, so
he did. He taught at McCord before Phoenix was a thing. Yeah.
this guy has been all over the place.
Can I say the thing?
Hey, friends. No, I think we made it as far as I wanted, actually. Hey, good job. We made it as far as I wanted. Nice work, friends. All right, bye-bye. Have a wonderful day. Sure, I'm about to stop it.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. There we go.